everyone, today we're going to show our Walmart back to school haul for 2022-2023. Currently right now we're doing year-round homeschooling, but we're on our summer break right now, and then we will start our fall break in a couple of weeks. I wanted to go ahead and show you what we went ahead and purchased for a year of travel schooling, unschooling method that we're going to be using for this year. Also, I went to strip off my bed because I needed to go ahead and do bedding. I try to do everybody's bedding, like every 100% of it the first of the month, every month. And then we maintain the rest of the month. And I was super impressed when I was to strip it off. Like, I know this is kind of a side note of how smooth, after 2 years of having a Nectar mattress, this mattress still looks. Like, most of the time with our mattresses before, they're usually like super lumpy and uncomfortable after 2 years, but check out how smooth this is. It's super cool. Anyways, if you haven't seen any of our Nectar mattress like unboxing review videos and all that, I'll link them up here. But let me get back to showing you the travel schooling, unschooling school supplies that we're buying for this year. First of all, one of our kids is going to go back through the ASL 1 class. And we have a lot of paperwork that we do for that class. So we need to get a 2-inch binder, and I'll show you the sheet protectors in a minute. Also, since we have a 4th child now, these are my absolute favorite rulers. Because number one, when you pack them, they don't break. They're super flexible. They will flatten out perfectly on paper to measure exactly like flexing it. Doesn't mess up the measurements at all. Super flexible, super easy to pack in our bags to travel with on the go. And like, even for older kids, like even if they're not like in geometry, I found that having rulers is still super helpful. Like if they're wanting to do like precise line drawing to make graphs, charts, art class, whatever. So even though we have middle, and I should have prefaced that, we have middle and high school only students starting this year, 7th grade, 8th grade, and 2 10th graders. But yeah, so now that we have 4, I wanted to make sure everybody have their own of these flex rulers. And again, they're my favorite. One thing that I like to do every year is I try to find a prong, let me see if I can find pocket and prong folder, a unique one for each person to have for like either a subject that they struggle with, and maybe it'll help them be more excited to do it, or let them do it for their favorite subject. But that way they have something colorful, kind of changes up the monotony, to have a special folder for them. So Mac did not need any for travel purposes for this year, but mine is, and I love that they had an adventure theme one this year. So this is actually going to be my new travel folder. This is where I would put information for like while we're traveling, of if the kids have like a scope and sequence that they need for a specific subject we're going to be covering while we're in between places. It also is where I keep proof of homeschooling, because there's so many places, especially in Tennessee, where you can get super reduced costs to go to places like aquariums and zoos and places if you homeschool. So I also keep a proof of homeschooling in here. I keep any kind of records. Sometimes if we're in places where the connection is kind of iffy, I will also still print out a copy or confirmation copy of our hotel stays, just in case, like I said, we get there and like there's some kind of issue or something. That way I can have the peace of mind if I can get there and be like, hey, no, here's my confirmation. So I do still carry that kind of stuff in here. I do put some page protectors in here for stuff like that. And then I also, I think sometimes I also put like some travel games with it, travel journaling and stuff like that. So this is my new folder for this year. And then each of the kids picked out a unique one, and they're all different brands, but I'm okay with that. I wanted them to pick a color or a theme that they like. So this is one of them, and then here's another, and I don't remember whose is whose, but I love the variety that they had this year as well. So that's why they're all different, because I told them to pick what they like. So this year I have a 7th grader. She is doing Tennessee history. In the state of Tennessee, usually you cover Tennessee history in public school in 7th grade. Some homeschoolers do it in 5th grade. We go ahead and wait till 7th grade, just because if things change with our state, like of requirements and things, I wanted to go ahead and be on target with what the state would want us to do. So I'll go ahead and usually wait until 7th grade to do state history. My rising 8th grader actually didn't do it last year, but we kind of covered it in 5th grade, so we still met the criteria to move on to 8th grade. But anyways, so I wanted her to have, we're going to be doing it differently. I'll do another video another day on how we do state history unschooling ways. But basically, she's going to need a journal, a large journal, to be able to record while we're doing state history. And yes, there will be travel days coming up with this, as long as our budget allows and guidelines and restrictions allow, and just, you know, safety reasons and everything. So, but that is our plan, is that we will be doing a lot of traveling with it, which means I needed something that was small enough to fit in her backpack. I will link their backpacks. I think their backpacks are always linked in the description below, our Amazon affiliate. And again, like any purchase that you make from that, once you click on that link, that really helps our channel out to continue showing you guys and helping you guys with homeschooling tips, travel tips, and just in life in between tips. But the backpack link that we use for our kids is in that description below. They've had these backpacks for over a year. They're still durable. They're still working. Taking them on hikes and trips and things. So, but I wanted something that would fit in her backpack. And this worked out really perfectly. She loved the design on it as well. This is for my redhead. So she loved the fact that it had like design that kind of reminded her of Scotland, Ireland. This is a composition notebook for, I can't remember. I think it is for one of my high schoolers. We're going to be doing literature completely different this year. And then I also wanted to get a couple things for the kids for like personal journaling, because one of the things that we do for our literature credit is we highly encourage journaling. And for high school, composition journaling is a huge part of your credits for any high school dual enrollment college classes. So we try to encourage journaling as much as we can, of like journaling, you know, your thoughts about the day, writing down maybe poems, haikus, things that you write. So we try to keep each of them a journal. She was the only other one that needed one other than the one for Tennessee history. So I do not buy wooden pencils anymore because number one, they have to be sharpened constantly. Number two, mechanical pencils have more of a fine tip to take the detailed notes that the kids need for like the higher credit courses. And then like you'll see in a minute, college rule paper is smaller lines. So I just prefer mechanical pencils for older kids. We don't have to do like any state bubble exams or anything. Anything we do that goes to the state is all virtual. So like we don't need any of that. If we do, we have a couple of wooden pencils that we have, you know, just in case. But I went ahead and got these. I like these because there's different colors. And that way, like you can usually get the ones where like these little tip pieces that clip on the stuff is different colors. I like the ones where the whole pencil's a different color, because then they can designate, okay, this is the color pencil that I had in my bag. And that way, like when we're traveling, if somebody drops a pencil, they know whose is whose. So there's usually 4 to 5 colors in each of these. I can only see 3 right now. Oh, there's 4. This one has teal, orange, pink, and purple. And then because I have 4 kids, plus Matt and I also use pencils while traveling and at home, I went ahead and picked up 2 packs of these. And actually, usually for Matt and myself, we do the black ones. I still have half of my pack from last year, so I didn't buy it. And that's kind of the beauty of homeschooling for so long, is that we already know what we need and don't need. Like I didn't buy floppy folders for every subject because some of the ones they had from last year still work. So why buy new ones when they can just reuse the ones they had last year? And if mid-year something happens, in some states you can actually do a tax-free weekend again and get school supplies again. Or if not, we can order them from Amazon and have them shipped to our home address anytime. So these 2 compound packs, if you have a tax exempt or a state that does tax exempt for like one weekend for back to school, the compound packs are not tax exempt. You have to buy them separate. But Walmart rarely ever sells these separately. So these were not tax exempt. But we needed to go ahead and get them because I have 2 in pre-algebra, 1 in geometry, and then 1 in 8th grade math this year. And I wanted to go ahead and have 4 compasses and 4 protractors, 1 for each person for them to have. So 2 of them did not have compasses, so I went ahead and just bought the 4 packs so that we would have a protractor for everybody. And then we also have 1 in our travel schooling bag. If you haven't seen that video, link it up here. I'm basically not really doing much different this year for our travel schooling. If I do, I'll do an updated video. Glue sticks is something I feel like we used a lot last year for one of their electives. The kids did scrapbooking, so we went through a lot of glue sticks. So I went ahead and just bought another 6-pack. And also, I hate buying the fat ones now because usually the lid gets lost or it just gets used up fairly quickly, and it just feels like it gets used a lot quicker than just using the small ones do. I know that sounds crazy, but so we are just doing the 6-pack of the small ones for hopefully will last us at least till Christmas time. The sheet protectors, we bought these in 100-pack counts. These were not tax exempt. We don't know why, because it's a school supply on many middle and high school lists. Again, so I needed 1 of these for ASL class, and then I'm using the other one to fill for, like when the kids put in their floppy folders, if their class that we're working on has a scope and sequence, or if I write out their unit study sheets, I can cover that another time, then I usually will put sheet protectors in the front of their floppy folders with their unit study sheet in it, and then the rest of the floppy folder is for their notes for that class. And then last but not least, we needed some paper. Half of our work is digital, half of our work is on paper. So we did still need some paper, but we still had some left over from last year where most of our work was virtual. So I wanted to go ahead and finish that off, and then we're going to use this. And that is it for our Walmart haul for this year. Again, check out all the other links for things that we use that kind of lead up to this, because there's some things that we have left over that we're still going to use. And again, I will go through the next several weeks, probably for the whole month of August, have at least one video a week talking about different subjects, different plans for 7th, 8th, and for our 2 10th graders.